Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Quit and Build podcast. Today's guest will be Lino Helma from Sweden. Welcome on the board, Lino.
Hello, thank you for having me. It doesn't matter what other people think. If you actually believe that this is possible, you will get help by the universe. It's called Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Tradu. It sounds weird, but if you believe something in a long period of time, the universe will help you on the way to get to that. Have your energy still positive, you will still get the positive result. You can react in a bad way. I could have done a bad lift before 1 week before my competition, and then I could just, oh fuck, it's the competition is fucked. Like I give up mentally before the competition even has begun, and that's where most people do it wrong. You have to sacrifice having fun in the short term. You have to sacrifice who you are today, and you have to build up your new self with small steps every day. What if they don't like me? Doesn't matter, because we're all gonna die either way. Never be with someone who doesn't love you, and never be with someone who brings your energy down.
That's really great pleasure for me to have you here, to have opportunity to question you a bit more. But before we dig in deeper in your thoughts, in your personality, what you have brought here today, I have a special gift for you. It's a Quit and Build t-shirt, as always.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yes, it's now yours.
Thank you.
Quit and Build t-shirt. Unfortunately, I don't have it on me. And that's the thing I always tell, that I have to wash them up, because I use them so often for trainings. They're perfect under the singlet. If you're a competitor in powerlifting, just use them, it's okay.
Now I have a nice shirt that I will use as much as you.
Okay, yes, hopefully. And this is another international episode. It's actually 4th episode of Quit and Build podcast, which will be shoot in English. Unfortunately for Swedish viewers, my Swedish is not that good. I could lead a podcast in it, but hopefully you can speak English and we can dig in deeper into the Lino Helma. I will introduce you for a beginning. You are 24 years old.
Yes.
You are powerlifter,
Yes.
Nordic junior record holder on a Benchpress, and you're entrepreneur. You're a founder of Hellemaa.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. I would start with the powerlifting side, because this podcast is mostly focused on powerlifting and that stuff around it. So your competition PRs is 270 on squat, 202.5 on bench press, and 270 once again on deadlift.
Yeah.
It was your last competition, but you're way stronger, because in Lithuania you squatted 290 kilos.
Yes, but I hurt my back, and I have a lot of injuries for the past 1.5 years, and even before that I'm always like injured, so I haven't really had a time to actually have a good competition.
Okay.
So let's just say I'm way stronger than I have done on the platform. But my last competition actually was 2024 December.
Okay.
Where I did the Nordic bench junior record. But I haven't had a real opportunity to compete after that, because I had so much with building my own company, and also I've been injured with my back. I had much problems with that, but if I will just heal, I think I will be one of the best lifters, at least in Sweden.
And we are starting really strong with the strong phrase, you will become one of the best lifters, at least in the whole Sweden.
Yes.
And that's the mindset I would like to talk. But before that, because when I say, or when I remember about Lino Helma, there's one phrase that comes out of my mind. And it's, everything is possible. You just have to believe in it.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been like that all the time, because you weren't always like that.
No.
Can you bring us a bit deeper in your personality, how it all started, from where you came?
Um, let's just say I had a very hard childhood. I was not feeling good.
Okay.
I was living in some kind of hate energy. Like
Okay.
I hated the world.
Uh-huh.
I hated the school. I felt like it was a prison. I didn't fit in anywhere. I had no friends. Everybody was. I was always strong, like physically.
Uh-huh.
But everybody saw me as kind of a monster instead of like talking with me.
Okay.
And I started to believe them, so I also became a monster.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Let's just say that. So I was not feeling very well at that time, and I didn't have the knowledge of how to think properly to create the life you want.
Okay.
So I didn't. I wasn't like a good person when I was younger, but then I started to power lift.
Okay. Okay.
Like I started to train to
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
better, and the main goal was in the beginning to just become like shredded.
Yeah,
So
just physical, good looking.
Good looking,
Yeah, because
so-
on the next podcast you should with Danny, you said you started because you were fat.
Yeah,
Shock is the
yeah.
Swedish word for being fat,
Yeah.
and you wanted girls.
Yeah. So that was literally the first goal to like become more attractive and to get
That's, I guess,
more comfortable
yeah, yeah.
in my own skin.
Uh-huh.
But then I just fell in love with the strength progress, the strength part.
Okay.
And then I just didn't care as much about how I looked. There was more like I care about the weights I do. So I benched 160 kilos when I was actually more, 165 when I was 19.
Okay.
And at that point of time, the record in Sweden was 168 kilos.
Okay. Okay.
For the juniors.
That's like 3 kilos under.
Yes, yes.
And was it with the proper technique?
No, it was not because I haven't
yeah.
competed.
Uh-huh.
I haven't had a proper program,
Okay.
proper anything, proper food. I didn't know shit.
Just you went in the gym and
I
just
we
lifting
just
weights.
went and lifted. But then my friend, he convinced me to you need to go to Falkenberg and they have a powerlifting gym and you should compete. And I was like, oh okay, I can come with. And then I met Jacob Nilsson.
Yes.
Who is
Shout out.
who is actually my coach still today. And I did my first competition, and I just fell in love with the sport. I got a bunch of new friends, and I saw like the first competition I did. It actually felt in my soul that
Okay.
I actually have achieved something.
Yes.
I actually was proud of myself for the first
Yeah.
time in my life. And that feeling, I just got so hungry after that.
You
So I was like, I have to win Sweden
Oh
nationals.
yes.
So and so I started to like living in, still unconsciously living in a better vibe. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't as hateful.
Yeah, because
I was more open-minded and loving.
Yeah. So if I get it correctly, what you're saying is just before powerlifting, before the gym,
Yeah.
you had more, problems to fit in. You were always isolated.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
didn't like you, and
Yeah.
you consequently didn't like the people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then when you find your environment, you become maybe more self-conscious, conscious. So you had the vibe with the people.
Yeah.
You started to build something different,
Yeah.
which is great because this podcast is called Quit and Build,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
might be, that's my another question, a following question. Do you consider this being your biggest quit and build moment in your life, or
No,
are
I
there
don't.
any more?
I was still not awake.
Okay, okay. So what followed after the first powerlifting?
Like always, like if we talk about just life in general, it wasn't like when I started powerlifting, I wasn't still consciously. I didn't know the laws about the universe.
Okay, okay.
But I was like very more open-minded, very interested in developing myself and my mindset. So I actually went. I joined a trading community,
Okay.
like trading forex and Bitcoin and yeah, all of that. And I met a bunch of people there who were thinking higher and.
What does it mean, if I can ask? Because normal viewer will not know what means thinking higher or something like that. What does
Like
it
I
mean?
met some, let's just say like that. I met some successful people who view the world different
Okay.
from normal people, and these people they gave me a tool.
Okay.
There was this hidden podcast.
Okay. It sounds so.
No, it's for real. Like
Okay.
this was like a secret society, like
Okay.
hidden podcast.
Oh.
Which I got on Telegram, and there was a time where it was on Spotify. It's called "Your Wish Is Your Command" by Kevin Tradu. Doesn't exist anymore on the internet because the elites have deleted it because it's too powerful for normal people to learn this information. This is the kind of information that the elites have used to create the world we live in today with their mind and their conscious thinking.
Okay.
There is like 4 types of laws in this podcast.
Okay.
And they go through everything.
Okay. Okay.
And I listened to this podcast for like 10 times over and over and over.
Okay.
And every episode is 1 hour.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah, yeah.
10 episodes where they go through basic stuff. And after I did that,
Something switched.
something just happened in my
Okay.
head. I understood something I didn't understand before.
Okay.
And to make it, I can't explain everything
Yeah, yeah,
now. It's
yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
much information. But this moment literally changed my whole life.
Okay.
Because I got the tool how to create and manifest your dream life.
Okay.
And then I started to build my company like I have today, which is growing rapidly. It's going very well. And like I understood that anything is possible. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself, your limited beliefs. If you believe higher, if you actually believe like I'm gonna do this, it doesn't matter what other people think. If you actually believe that this is possible, you will get help by the universe. And you need to be happy as well. You need to vibrate positive energy because it works the other way around as well. If you're a negative energy and you're thinking the most about, I'm not gonna make that lift, or I'm not gonna win this competition, that's also the results you're gonna get. But if you think, I'm gonna win this competition, I'm gonna take this PR, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, you start to unconsciously in your everyday life do small things that will give you the results that you want.
This sounds really great. Like the summary of it.
Yes.
But the way you found it out sounds a little bit skimmy, like a scam or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
When you say, because nowadays most of the join my secret Telegram
Yeah.
community and all
Yeah.
this stuff.
Of course. I thought that too. But I tried this out.
Okay.
It works.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I came from nothing. Like literally nothing. All I've built is like, I have built everything in my life. And you have too.
Yeah, that's.
You have too.
We're working on it.
Yeah, and we all start from different positions. But I wasn't a successful guy. I was working with, I was a welder, I was a scaffolder, I was working with a bunch of different jobs. And I didn't fit in anywhere.
Okay,
And then
yeah.
I always wanted to create my own thing,
Your
but
own wealth, yeah.
I didn't really believe until I found out about this information.
Okay.
About how it works.
And it was relief to you. I don't want to sound it so mysteriously, but
No.
they showed you there. Are you still working with this Telegram,
No.
with this trading
No, I'm
stuff,
not.
or
I'm not. Like the trading, the trading part.
Yes.
Like the real part. That was a scam.
Okay.
Like that was a scam. Like this, it literally was. Like this is a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
But the people I met, who were
Higher, like ranks.
they
higher
were
above.
like successful in other ways, like in their trading, not in that system, but they were in that that group. And I got the podcast from one of them, not from the fucking trading pyramid scheme. I got it from a person who is a highly successful person in trading and in other parts of life.
In business.
Yes,
generally.
yes.
But
And
it shouldn't be applied only on business, I guess.
no, it's applied in your whole life. Like it's applied in everything you do. There's like, it sounds so cliche when I explain it, but like there is information hidden from normal people. We don't understand how powerful we are. We create our reality through thoughts and emotion, and it takes time to through a period of time. Like I can't think I'm gonna have a Lamborghini and it shows up here. Of course not. But I can think about it in a long period of time, and you will receive it. Like if you can think about, and it's not like if you can think about something you don't believe. That's where the belief system comes in play. You have to fundamentally believe that it's possible, and you need to grow your belief system. That's one of the 4 rules. To evolve your belief system, and when you believe it, you can achieve it. Like it sounds weird, but if you believe something in a long period of time, the universe will help you on the way to get to that. And if you don't put a time limit on it, it will come faster. It will come when you're ready.
Maybe I'll ask you for this was like theoretical use of this laws and your way
this
of
is
thinking.
my view. This is not my information.
How should people who are watching this podcast use this information in their own life? Let's say mostly people who's watching will be lifters. So how they should apply it in their life?
You could apply this by the easiest part, like how to make this as simple as possible, is to feel good right now, every day, because good emotions attracts good moments, and good moments attracts more good emotions, and good emotions and moments attracts more good results. It's like, if you want to make it as simple as possible, feel good every day. Try to reprogram your brain to think positive every day, and try to catch yourself. Am I thinking negative now? Am I thinking positive now? In all moments in life, like everyday life. Am I limiting myself or am I growing?
I think it's understandable for sure. But I ask you because we are humans.
Yes.
What if, because there's this big if, something fucks up, or just, I don't know, for lifters, let's take this example because we're talking about this. You don't make this lift, or the lift should be RP6 and it was RP10. Then you get mad. How to control yourself in that one moment? Because from some time you can take a look and say, hey, that was not a good reaction. But at that exact moment, or in your personal life, when something is going on, something is falling apart, how do you react so you stay positive? Because it's really hard.
Yes, it's hard. and you need to find your ways. But you never know. You never really know if it's bad. Like something can happen. Like let's just say it like this. There's a story about a Chinese man. He had his son, and one day in the village, he was riding a horse. He fell off the horse and broke his leg.
The father broke.
No, the son.
Son
The son
broke.
The son broke his leg, and everybody in the village was like, "Oh, this is so bad. This is so sad. Oh, he broke his leg. No, this is not good at all," because everybody thinks that. But then, like a week later, there starts a war, and they start to take out all the healthy males to the war. But they didn't take him to the front line.
Yeah,
because he broke his leg. Do you understand the point?
I understand.
So you never really know if something is bad. You don't know if something is bad. You don't know if something is good. And if you have that approach and you don't care as much, and just let your and have your energy still positive, you will still get the positive result. You can react in a bad way. I could have done a bad lift before 1 week before my competition, and then I could just, oh fuck, it's the competition is fucked. Like I give up mentally before the competition even has begun, and that's where most people do it wrong. Like if you have one bad lift before your competition, that's not the competition. Like I see it.
It's a 9 lift.
It's just a lift before. And that moment, you decide if it's a bad or a positive moment in your own brain. And of course, it's hard to control it, but you can program yourself to have these kinds of belief system, and that way you can create the results you want.
Okay. So how do you applying this in your life? Maybe it will be more understandable for the audience to see it, how these things you just introduced work in, maybe in the business, maybe on your sports side.
I can say like right now, you know about this with the store. So right now I got some bad news from the government, because my first store, when I started to build my company, I didn't know the laws about the building permits and all of that stuff. I just started out and built like an unmanned store on my mother's property, like our family property. And I opened up. It was a success right away. It went very well. But the problem was I didn't have a permit for it from the government, because I needed to have that, and I didn't know that. So now I've been like fighting with the government to try to keep the store open and alive. I got like 500 people signing that they want to have the store still here, but it didn't work. And now they came with a fine. Oh, if you don't close your store, we're gonna give you a fine on 200,000 kronor, which is 20,000 euros, and that amount will double every third month, I think, until it's like 250 euros.
What?
250,000 euros.
Wow.
So this situation, I have to close one of my stores or I will get this fine. This seems catastrophe, like for the business. It seems like this is the end, this is fucked up, like this doesn't look good at all. But I saw this as a test, I saw this as like an opportunity to grow my business with social media. I made videos about it. I got a lot of views, like we have 300k views a month, like right now. And I also got in the newspaper for the state and for our town paper. And like I was saying, like this is gonna turn out just fine. This is an opportunity. I don't know why, but something big is happening right now. Even though I'm closing down, it looks like everything is fucked. I'm still thinking this will just bring me more opportunities. And it has done that. Now people are, like big companies are telling me, oh, I read about you in the news. We have a place where you can put one of your stores. And we have like 30 different buildings. And I got so much opportunity from something that looks horrible for the normal mindset. But I could have also done this in the other way. I could have, oh no, it's fucked up. Oh, it's fucked. This is not good.
It's not working.
It's not good.
I should close or
I should just close it. Oh, maybe I have to send you home and, you know, everything. A bit of context, Hansa is working with me. But, like, I could have taken the negative way, and then I would have taken negative choices because of how I felt about the situation. I wouldn't reach out to the newspaper. I wouldn't have made videos on Instagram. I wouldn't have capitalized on the opportunity instead of how I did it now. Because if I had been depressed about it, thinking bad about it, I would have gotten that. I probably would have been the end. Like, not the end, but it would have hurt the business so much if I was thinking in the wrong way in that moment. So it's all about your thinking, and it's not just about the big stuff, it's about the small stuff as well.
All right. So this is how
I hope I explained it well.
I think you explained it really well on a life example,
Yeah.
which is happening right now.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you for audience, maybe from Czech Republic, because I have a lot of following from Czechia.
Yeah.
What is your company? Actually, you named it. It's like Unmanned Store.
Yes.
But how does it work? You know, can you give us a little bit some kind of
Yes.
behind the scenes, how it's working, how you started with that?
I had this crazy idea, and I just wanted to start something myself. I just wanted, first in the beginning, I wanted a store. Like, I wanted to own a store so I could, when the customers are not in the store, I could focus on my trading. I was trading crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So I could focus more on that and have time for that. So I'm not on a normal work where I can't even look at my phone. Because I can't trade if I'm on normal work, because they will just get mad. So I was thinking about that, and then I just was thinking more about it, but it costs so much to buy a store, like to buy fucking a building and open a store. It's like millions of crowns. It's very expensive. So I was still thinking, how should I do it? And then I just saw like this container, like a barbershop in a container.
Okay.
And then I started thinking, oh, maybe I can build my store in a container to get the costs down. And then I started to look into it more. I started to think about this whole system, like the unmanned system, because it exists other similar ideas in Sweden, but nothing like it in the container concept or in the movable concept or like this. So I just put everything together and I just went for it. And I got so much help from the universe in circumstances, events happening, people coming and giving me information.
Because
and
you
tips.
believed.
Because I believed. So I got help from people, but from the universe for me to build this and start out. And it just has grown from that point on. And hopefully this year we will have 4 or 5 stores. Hopefully.
Currently you have 2.
I have 2, but a third. We're building the third now. But we're closing one down, so we're gonna have 2, but we have 1 prepared store, let's just say that. So 3 stores right now is we can say. And we have more projects incoming, and it's amazing, and I love it. I love life.
So your goal for this year is open up to 5 stores, to have 5
My
stores.
goal my goal for this year is not a number.
Okay.
It's to open as much stores as I can, and to grow the company as much as I can, and to feel as good as I can, and to elevate in every part of my life. That's the goal. And also, I told the newspaper, like, we want to be the biggest unmanned storage company in the whole state. Not this year. I haven't put a time. I don't put a time limit on things. I just let it happen. Because if you put a time limit, you will get pressure.
Yes.
You will get bad emotions, and it will automatically take longer because you're putting that kind of emotion on yourself. So if you don't have a time limit on it, like I want to do this, and it will take the time it takes. That's the best approach, I think.
That's great.
Like for yourself and for your emotions, because everything happens. Everything happens on how you're feeling.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. And is there something that your business or your kind of thinking took away from you? What's the cost for this kind of life?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's
That's a good point.
It's really easy
No,
for
yeah.
young people, because mostly I'm followed by young people. I want to
Yes.
inspire young
Yes.
people, and they're like, "Hey, I'll have my own business. I want to
Yes.
do this. I really believe." Okay,
Yes.
but there's the cost.
Yes.
What's the cost?
Yes. That's a very good point that we're getting into right now. Nothing is free. The cost is to change the person you are. If you're today a guy who is playing video games, going out drinking, smoking, doing drugs, fucking wanking off, like, if you're the guy that put the time and effort into stuff, you like cheap dopamine, you're scrolling, you're wasting your time, basically. You need to and it's nothing wrong with being that. You're there right now. I've been there too. But you have to sacrifice going out partying with normal people. You have to sacrifice having fun in the short term. You have to sacrifice who you are today, and you have to build up your new self with small steps every day. It all comes to the routines. It's like brushing your teeth. You do it every day to keep your teeth clean. And it comes down to who you hang around with. I have sacrificed a lot of people, like consciously stopped being around that kind of energy and their environment, because you become who you are around with. Unconsciously, we are programmable human beings, and we get influenced by our environment, like who we hang around with. If I hang around with guys who are drug addicts or losers, the high probability is that I will become a drug addict and a loser. If I hang around strong powerlifters or strong-minded people, it's most likely I will become one of them as well. So you have to pick your circle, and everything I say, it sounds easy, but we have this ego who tries to, like, your old self does not want to die. Your old self is hanging on for dear life. And it will make excuses for why it's okay to go out and party. Oh, I haven't partied for 2 weeks, so now it's okay. Your ego, your old self, who doesn't want to die, will try to stop you from growing.
And how you overcome this period, or this ego, this your old self?
It took a long time, but I was like, if I got the fear, if you're conscious about it, if you're conscious about your excuses, if you're conscious about, you're self-aware. That's like very important. If you're self-aware, you're critical about your own thinking, and you're like thinking about how you are acting. You could change like 10%, you can change every day about you. 90% is just from the old, but you can reprogram yourself like 10% every day. So it takes time, and you can also fall back into your old patterns. But try to consciously think about how you want to be, or who you want to be. What would a person be thinking that I want to be? What would Lino, who is a multi-millionaire, who is one of the strongest in the world, what would he think?
Okay.
And you try to become that person every day in your mind, like the greatest person you could ever imagine, and you will change. Slowly change. Things takes time, and the routines take time. The habits is hard to break. If you have like a gaming habit, you like to play games like for 6 hours, but that doesn't grow you as a person. You have to change that. You have to sacrifice that. You have to really do stuff. If you want to have changes in your life, you have to change things in your life. It's kind of simple, but it's still hard, of course, because we're programmed.
Do you have some kind of your real example, once again, in your life, how you had, I don't know, some kind of maybe gaming or something like that, where you spent 6 hours or partying all the time?
Yeah.
How you felt in those moments, and what makes you, or what changes you particularly made?
I'm thinking back, like way back right now. But that period when I woke up, I really understood like I have to change things in my life. I started to, instead of like, it starts with the habits, the small habits. Instead of gaming with my friends, I started to fill out that time with listening to like podcasts on how to grow, like from successful people. So I took away that, and I was watching a lot of YouTube. I was watching League of Legends and like shit like that.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I put up notes on the fucking screen, and I said, you're only allowed to watch YouTube if you can learn something useful from it. So then I started to only watch like trading courses, how the financial bank system works, how like stuff that gives me something. And I also try to read books. I also try to like I had to change the environment and the habits and force myself to do it. It's hard, but hard, man. But once it becomes a habit, it becomes a lifestyle, it becomes you, it becomes easier. But in the beginning, it's like hard. And you just have to consciously force yourself every day. It's like quitting smoking or something. It's very hard, but it's all in your head.
Therefore, still the need for it.
Yeah, you feel it, and you know you just have to not get in your own excuses and force yourself. It's hard, it sucks to force yourself to do something that you don't want.
Maybe for our audience, they will know, when they started with the gym, how they were feeling, because not everybody had the discipline from the first moment they entered the gym.
Yeah.
But after some time, it becomes a routine.
Easier. It becomes your
if
lifestyle.
I get it correctly, what do you?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's exactly with the gym. It's like, and also if you have gymmed a lot, and you have gymmed a few years, you're in some kind of development there. Like even now, if you quit, let's just say if you quit for a month, it's hard to get back into that habit. So but once you're in that habit, you don't let it go. Just keep on growing that, like that seed, because you're planting this seed and you want it to grow every day. And it's the consistency, and it's consistency is like key. You need to be consistent. You can't do it. Real results come in the long term from consistency. Like, and it's like the more you work out, the more time you put in, the better you will become. And it works
It's the same.
It works in all parts of life. Like the more time you put in something, and also with good emotions and with effort, the easier and the more it will grow, because it becomes more of you. So you need to change. If you look at your life right now, what am I doing that is not giving me anything? I'm just wasting time. Am I playing video games too much? You could play video games sometime.
May I just stop you for a moment?
Yeah.
What means too much? Because sometimes, or I don't know. I don't have a laptop where can I play video games, so I don't do it. But where I find the borderline where it's too much, because sometimes once per week it could be okay.
Yes.
But for somebody,
Yes.
it's unacceptable. So how would you describe that?
It depends, and also like you could get successful from video games as well. But the point is that if you do something too much, where you're literally just doing it because you have some kind of addiction to it, like you're starting to rage when you play.
Okay.
You're starting to have bad emotion if you don't win, and etc. Like you get emotionally invested in it, and where it takes time from your real life, like it takes time. I prioritize gaming instead of meeting my friends, or instead of hanging out with my family, or I game instead of going to the gym, or I party instead of fixing my window at home, or stuff.
Just doing something
productive.
But when you don't have anything, like you have everything done for the day, what we wanted to.
Yeah, then
and
you could
just relax or something.
Yeah,
like
then
that.
you could you should give yourself some gifts. You should treat yourself.
How do you do it in your everyday life?
I work.
What's the balance, or
I work hard.
if there's some kind of balance?
I have a problem with that. I kind of work all the time, but it's also I love it. I love what I do. I love working, so it's not like I really work. Like on the weekends, I do stuff that I don't want to do. Of course, it's a job, it's a work, but that's the discipline. And for me, the training has become my way to enjoy. Like that's my enjoyment time.
Okay.
And gaming sometimes.
Okay.
Like I could play League of Legends. I could relax with my friends, and that's the kind of stuff that will give me the pleasure. But you can't always have pleasure, because then you're not gonna be productive.
Okay.
Like you can't have the dopamine all the time, because then you have no dopamine left.
Yeah.
Like you can't endlessly scroll on the phone and expect results in real life, because you need, like, the life is always moving forward, even if we are not.
Yeah.
The life is still moving forward, and you should be doing that as well. So don't try to put too much time on something that doesn't bring you value in the long run. And I'm not saying like you should have a boring life, but sometimes you have to have a boring life. My life when I started this, or for the past, like, let's just say before last year when I started everything, my life was boring, man. Very boring.
Maybe I wouldn't say boring, but maybe repetitive.
It was boring for normal people,
okay.
because I didn't party, I don't drink, I quit that, and like I worked instead on the weekends instead of going out and having fun. So I sacrificed all the fun And I was a boring person. People saw me, oh, you're a boring person. Oh, why are you working so much? But I knew that my life will become like better. And now my everyday life is such an amazing experience that most people sadly will never reach, because it happens so much in my life. Every day something happens. Like you've seen it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Like every day something is happening in my life, and I enjoy it very much now. And in the beginning, people were just not thinking,
They
"Oh,
don't
you're so
believe-
boring. Oh, you don't go and party with us. Oh, where are you? Oh, why are you working
And
so much?"
how do you, or how did you deal with, you know, the
Emotions and
no, with the people, with those naysayers, because there had to be people around you who tell you, hey, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because for one thing is, okay, you have some habits, you have something, and that's your own thing. Doing it, like quitting
Yeah.
gaming,
Yeah.
addiction, or it doesn't have to be addiction, just this habit which you don't find productive.
Yeah.
But then there are the people around you who might influence you
Yes.
also. So
I had to stop hanging around with people. I was very alone. And you have to be comfortable in being alone. Because if you're alone, nobody can affect you.
okay.
And like it's hard, but you have to take that decision to say no to them. Don't stop listening to yourself. Believe in yourself to the point where believe in yourself more than nobody else is gonna believe in you more than yourself. Nobody.
Okay.
So you need to believe in yourself more than anybody else, because then you can say, no, I'm not gonna go to the party. I have to gym. I have this competition coming up. I have this.
This is the priority number one.
There is priority number one. So you have to say no, and you have to be powerful enough to not let others influence you in a bad way or program you to not be successful. Let's just say like that.
Okay, okay.
And it's, of course, it's very hard in the beginning. I wasn't around, so
Yeah.
I created myself,
Yes,
literally.
I understand.
And I also try to speak with successful people because they have that kind of energy that you can learn from and you can grow from. So, of course, I need to find that source and find people who think the same I was thinking, because in the beginning it's very hard to believe it yourself if nothing in your environment believes it. But once you meet people who it's actually real, oh, there are people like me, then you will believe it more, and then you will achieve more, and then
It's a chain reaction.
yeah.
All right. What are the most important qualities you have to have as a person, or you have to work on, if you want to achieve some kind of mindset? Because you know your company is still startup, or you have two stores, but you know it will grow
Yeah,
big.
yes.
Nobody from the audience, not even me, know how big it's gonna
no.
be. That's only
That's
you,
only me.
if I get it correctly.
Yes.
From what you said.
Yes.
But if I want to do something similar, or anybody else, which are the most qualities that a person has to work on?
Never give up. That's the first one. Never give up. Once you give up, it's over. That's
Alright.
that's the number one.
Okay, okay.
Even whatever's happening, there's always a solution if you never give up. And you have to have like the discipline to actually do it every day. And you have to have enough emotional self-awareness so you can control your emotions and not act in your old emotions and take bad decisions. So I would say self-awareness also
Yeah.
is a big part. And just try to feel as good as you can every day,
All right.
emotionally.
Uh-huh.
That will bring like
The results.
the results, I would
Okay.
say.
That's awesome.
Have an open mind.
Yeah. Be open-minded, be outgoing.
Yes,
If I'm
and
getting you
don't
correctly.
live in fear. Don't live in shame. We're all getting those emotions. I get fear when I go up to a girl, but should that emotion impact me that I will take a bad decision and embarrass myself? No. If you get the emotion, you get emotion, and then you decide what you're gonna do with it. Like, just go and do it. It's not that hard. Life isn't
Okay.
that.
Yeah, just go and do it.
Yes, do it, man.
Actually. Yeah, it works. Now I have special question for you. Because after all these things, it's about building something in the future, building your better self.
Yes.
But what if you knew you're gonna die in half a year? What would you do? From this moment, I tell you, you'll be dead in half a year. What would you do now?
That's a hard question. uh, I would go to everybody I love and tell them that I love them, and hug everybody, and I would just keep growing. I wouldn't change anything actually. I would just keep going with what I'm doing, and probably give the company to my family
All right.
or something.
So just you would keep going.
I would be happy. I have done everything in my life. I'm happy. I'm not afraid of death.
Yeah, that's what I
I
want.
see it as a beautiful thing, actually.
Okay.
Because
Can you show it a little bit more? This question.
yeah, okay, we can talk about death
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah. I've never spoken about death.
We can talk
this
about
kind
death. You will return to the where you came from. Like before I was born, Lino didn't exist, but my energy still exists. My energy is in the universe, like the eternal consciousness. I believe that we're all the same. We're all the same energy.
Okay.
This sounds maybe sounding weird for some people,
Maybe
but
spiritual a little bit.
yes, but I fundamentally believe that we're all God. Like our consciousness is one consciousness. But our personality, Lino and Honsa, is created by the events and circumstances and the environment where we grow up in. That creates our personality. So I'm thinking about the death, that we will just return to where we came from. And I didn't feel any pain before
Alright,
I
yeah.
was born. I didn't feel like
Yes.
I just did not exist. And
Like here in this.
yeah, like
okay.
here. But somewhere my energy it still exists. Like we all have it in us.
Yeah.
So I'm not really afraid of death because I know that every day, at least now, I am trying to make a better world, a positive impact on people, and as long as I'm here, I'm gonna give so much love to everybody, and I'm not like having this normal mindset where I'm afraid to say that I love you and like
Yeah.
this stuff, because it doesn't. In the end, like this stuff doesn't matter if you're. Oh, what is he thinking about me? Oh, what if they don't like me? It doesn't matter because we're all gonna die either way. So all that matters is that you spread as much love and positive energy as you can while you're here and try to make the world a better place rather than not, because how you treat others is how you're basically treating yourself, because we're all the same. That's
Understand.
my thinking. I don't know if it is like that, but for me it's like that. I
Yes,
believe that
you create your reality.
you create your life and your
Reality.
reality. And in my reality, that's my
Yeah, it's gonna work like that because nobody actually knows what will
No,
happen
no.
after death or what
Yes.
was before death. But
Yes.
when you take it as a symbols, maybe more of for people who are not that spiritually based, it could work either way. Just that because we are all humans and. In the Bible, or if I can go a little bit deeper into Christianity, Adam and Eva, the two people, and they like created, but it's not like it will be weird.
Yeah.
But they are like, it's shown that we are brothers actually.
Yes.
We are the same.
Yes.
We're coming from the same side, and we shouldn't like actually.
Yeah, but
hate
we
and
must
yeah.
have come. We're all from Earth.
Yeah.
We must come from the same consciousness.
Yeah, from same something.
We
because
must.
still don't know.
We must have done it some way. We can't just have a billion people appear out of nowhere. Like we have evolved from something, and I believe all life on Earth is still same consciousness.
Okay.
I even believe that the trees are
Alright.
the same energy, not consciousness, but the same energy.
Okay, so it sounds to me actually when we spoke about the Bible, it's like from the God. Everything's like the God.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, and are you a Christian yourself?
I'm not a Christian.
Okay.
I'm a spiritual person. I'm not Christian because I don't. I share a lot of thoughts about the view with Christians, and also a lot of other religions. But I think all religions are praising the same thing as I'm talking about. But the humans have made their own assumptions of it with their books, and try to capitalize on it.
And
That's why the religion. That's my thinking. I'm not saying it's like that, but I think that before you had to pay taxes to the church to be in the church. Like they have taken the spiritually the God part to make a business out of it before, and the powerful gathering and like the society and everything. But it's still man-made. The Bible is still man-made, and it's an amazing story about everything. But I think we all have some kind of fundamentally, like we know what's right and wrong with our eternal guiding system. If I hurt somebody, I feel bad, right?
you should.
I should.
If you don't, it's something's
Something's
bad.
wrong, yeah. But if I treat something good, I will feel good. So we have this kind of morals inside of us.
Kind of compass or something.
Yeah, it's a compass, and I'm very spiritually, as you can tell, and I believe in God. I believe in the universe. I believe in our mind is like a collective.
Collective mind.
Yeah. So, but you can believe anything you want as long as
sure.
as long as you're a good person and try to make a better world. So that's my view on it.
And how the spiritual person like you is able actually to survive in this kind of reality where everything is like materialism, everything is just, I don't know, money based, time based. How can you, because there's definitely more people like you, what would you advise them to if they're struggling with being able to live in this reality?
Let go of their reality. Create your own reality. Because I didn't want to live in the old reality. Like I was suicidal. I did not like the world before until I found my own self. I'm truly myself. That's what's matter. I don't hide anything. I'm truly myself. I found myself. I'm meditating sometimes. I pray to God sometimes. I always try to be myself fundamentally. And that's the way you go about it. If you stop caring about what people think about you, just be yourself. Don't care about others. Don't care of course care about others, but don't care about others' opinions about you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like if you're brave enough to be yourself and stick out from the crowd, like that if you're not doing it, you're just living in fear. Like I got so much shit about that I have earrings
Okay.
and the way I look. When I but I just want to look as I want to look. It's nothing more than that. I can be whoever I want. I can do whatever I want. I shouldn't let others' opinions control my character. And it takes a lot of courage to be yourself. But if you're yourself, nothing can stop you anymore.
Okay, that's a great answer. Thank you for that. And I think it will be pre-last question now.
Yeah.
But what is your biggest mistake you've ever done? Like your maybe not a mistake because if I can if I can take something what you've already said, there are no mistakes, just a lesson. So what
Yeah.
is your biggest lesson you would like to share here with us so nobody else has to repeat or do this? Maybe in business, maybe on your sports side, maybe on your journey during a normal day, like the personality, the
Yeah.
mental growth or something like that.
The biggest lesson, like that's right now, that's the first thing that I thought of when you asked me, is never be with someone who doesn't love you, and never be with someone who brings your energy down. And have as much self-respect as you can, so you can remove yourself out of that position. Because a girl could destroy you, or a man could destroy you if the energy is bad. Even though you're in love with the person, is this person good for me? You should be able to be realistic about it. And that's my biggest lesson. Like,
So just
never invest time in someone who is bad for you.
okay. And how you
And
find out the person is bad for you?
when you try to save them, but they don't want to get saved.
Okay.
When they try to
Can you show us maybe some kind of example? I know it's
let's just
might
say
be really hard.
if the person doesn't want you to work out and doesn't want you to work on your company and doesn't want you to be yourself for their benefit.
Yeah, for this sake.
They want your attention and your time for themselves, not because of you. Like, they don't care about you for real. You can notice it, like how you feel. How are they making you feel? How are you feeling? Are they making you feel seen? Are they making you feel loved? Are they making you a better person? Are they giving you energy to work harder in your life? Are they making you happy with them? I don't know. It's all about how you feel. Like, that's your guiding system.
Okay.
And if they're in the partner in your world, they should be in your mission as well. They shouldn't be taking away your mission. Like,
I understand.
you understand. I can't really go too much in detail.
Yeah.
It's too personal, but
Yeah, for sure. Just be
yeah,
objective.
just the top of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Like how you feel. Don't people don't take bad energy. Stay away from bad energy. Leave. Just leave. Even though if you're attached to it, you're having an addiction to a person. You're literally addicted. It's a bad habit you're addicted to. You need to break that pattern, even if it sucks.
Okay. So that's the way how you are getting overcame this kind of part of your life. Just you had to let go.
Yeah.
Because it must have been really hard.
Yes, of course.
Just leaving this person. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe there are some kind of your partner is emotionally abusing you, but still you get addicted. How would you overcome this if you were in this situation? You luckily wasn't.
I've been in
You've
that
been?
situation.
Okay.
Yes.
Like physically abused.
No, not like physically, but mentally.
Okay.
Mentally, and that's pretty much the same.
Okay.
The brain can't. There is no for the brain. There is no difference between emotional and physical abuse.
Okay.
Like it's the same in here. It hurts.
Okay.
Emotional abuse can hurt more than
sure. Yeah.
than physical abuse. It's still pain. You have to have the courage to stand up and love yourself and really like ask for help and see the truth. And it's hard because actually for me it took like 6 more months than it should have. I should have left 6 months before.
Yeah.
But when you love a person so much and you're addicted to that person, you don't want to give up on them as well. But you have to have the courage to do it. I broke up even though I wasn't still in love with the person. It was the hardest thing I've done. But I had to do it for me. Because if I don't feel good every day, or most of the time, I can't make other people feel good as well.
Around you.
Yeah. So stay away from bad energy. It could be a fake friend as well. It could be any person. It doesn't have to be a relationship. But that's the one of the best things I taken with me, and one of the hardest things as well. Stay away from bad energy, and you have to choose yourself first. Then you can choose others. You have to love yourself first, so you can love others.
This is how it should be.
Yes.
Most likely, because when you don't love yourself, you cannot spread it to the
No,
world.
and you want
And otherwise, it will be fake.
You want people who bring out the best energy of you, so you can be the best person you can be. So listen to the energy and listen to the emotions. That's my tips.
Lino, thank you so much for
Thank you.
this conversation.
Interesting.
Just one last question before we end. That's always I ask the person if there's, because you shared so much knowledge, hopefully it will be useful. Let me know, or let us know down in the comments, what do you think, if you shop in Hellemaa, or what should we do next. But there's the one last question. Is there anything else you would like to share? Something that you didn't mention you would like to spread the word to the world?
We're living in a fucked up world. Like, we need more people who stand up for the good and the positive side. So try to be a good person. Try to treat everybody with love and respect. Even it doesn't matter who they are. The elites are trying to separate us. Black, white, yellow, doesn't matter. We all bleed the same blood. We're all humans, and we shouldn't be separated, and we are stronger together, and we can make this world a much better place if we all love each other and don't fight against each other, because that's what the elites wants. So we're distracted from what they're actually doing and controlling. So please be a good person. Don't be a bad person. That's what I have to say. Please. We can make this world so good if we're all fighting for it.
Lino,
Yes.
once again, thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
And speaking about the love, you can leave like, comment, subscribe, look at the Hellemaa. Here will be Instagram also in the beginning. Lino's personal Instagram, my Instagram, Quit and Build. You can buy a Quit and Build shirt. www.quitandbuild.com, and we'll see each other at the next episode. So stay tuned. Yes, this competition t-shirt, we have different colors, and I'm looking forward to what the Sweden will bring, because we are shooting this in Sweden.
Yes.
Which was my Quit and Build moment. Not the biggest one, but see you at the next one.
Bye-bye.